Hey, it's me, Kathy, and it's supper time, so we are gonna play. I have a little bit of that hamburger left over from the Euro meatballs that we made, and I have to use it. So I've decided to make pasta alla vodka, and I've never done it with beef before, but that's what we're gonna do today. I had the beef, I have some onions and garlic and tomatoes, and always have vodka in the house. So we're gonna get on it and let's do it. About half a pound I had left. We're gonna crumble it up in our pan and cook it down. And as you can see, maybe, I guess you can't, but I'm cooking the pasta. I also had, from when I made the grilled chicken Caesar pasta salad, I had some leftover bow tie pasta, about a third of a box. So that's going to accommodate a half a pound of ground beef and make a small amount, but it's still going to be a good amount. So in we go, and we're going to cook this till it's browned up. We're going to season it next. The meat we're just going to season with salt and pepper, and the rest of the seasonings are going in with our sauce ingredients. So we're going to cook this down till it's browned up, and then we're going to move on. Our burger is done, nicely browned, and we're going to transfer it to a plate. That burger didn't exude too much fat, so we're going to add a little bit of olive oil to our pan. And some chopped up onion. I think that will probably be enough. I was going to use this. I have to scrape up some of the brown bits. And we are going to season these onions with some salt and pepper. I need to make some more. Some dried oregano, or you could use fresh if you wanted to. It's 115 degrees outside today, so I'm not going out to the garden to pick any fresh herbs. I have fresh basil in the house, so we're going to use some of that a little bit later. And that was dry basil, but just went in there. So now we're going to stir these into our onions. We're going to cook them down till they're nice and soft, and then we're going to continue on. Our onions are softened up nicely, and now in comes a fair amount of garlic. We're going to cook that down for a couple more minutes until that is fragrant. And I believe our pasta might be done, so I'm going to go drain that while this is cooking. Smelling garlicky, and now in is going some cut up Roma tomatoes. Probably not going to be enough. I'm going to have to supplement it with some sauce, but we're going to cook those down. I'm going to lower the heat a little bit until they get nice and juicy. I'm going to add in just a little bit of sauce to supplement this. Look at this, see how much pasta we have. And I also wanted to add in some red pepper flake. Give it a little kick. This sauce is going to help these tomatoes soften up quicker. So there we go. Our bow ties are done. I've put them in the pan with a little butter, help them from sticking together. And we're just going to incorporate that butter, coat those pastas all well so they don't stick together. And here's a look at how our sauce is coming. Our tomatoes are pretty well softened, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mash them up. Make them saucier. We're at a nice, mostly smooth consistency. I've increased the heat, and now in comes our vodka. We're going to let that cook down a bit to cook off the alcohol. This is a pretty thick sauce, but we're still adding cream and some stuff, but we're going to let this go for a little while. Probably takes, 5 or 6 minutes for that alcohol to boil out. and that sting to go away. Our booziness should be cooked off by now. And now in goes a couple tablespoons of butter. Stir that in. Let it start to get melty. And then next we're gonna add some, you can use cream or half and half. Stir that in too. I love me some vodka sauce. And our final ingredient before our meat and pasta go in is a little finely grated Parmesan cheese. And when that is melted and warmed through, then the meat and pasta will be going in. And we're gonna eat it up. Ready for our meat? Here we go. It's not gonna be very meaty, but it'll gonna be meaty enough. Like I said, I've never had pasta alla vodka with, usually it's shrimp or chicken or just plain. But today it's beef. Here comes our noodles, bow ties. You can use any kind of short pasta, penne, bow ties, rotini, silly. But this is what I had on hand today, so that's what we're using. And incorporate that in. Here we have our beef farfalle alla vodka. And next thing we're gonna do is serve it up. It's creamy and tomatoey and beefy, and it's gonna be good. Fun to play. Okay, in goes our pasta into our little bowl. Make sure we get meat. Not too much. Okay, that looks like a good serving size. The next thing we're going to do is sprinkle with a little more Parmesan. And a little chopped fresh basil. And a pretty little basil top. And this is our beef farfalle alla vodka. And now we're going to take a bite. Thank you for joining me while I played with some leftover stuff. And here's our bowl of beef farfalle alla vodka. And it's going to be a yummy dinner. And it was a lot of fun to do. Here's what we look like on our fork. I got a piece of meat, some basil, some pasta. The cheese and the sauce are all blended in. So in we go. I was right. That is going to make a yummy dinner. We'll see you again soon.